Before we get started, do you want to hear some quick numbers? Just some quick dumb numbers. I'm just going to give you 3 of them. I wanted to see averages. Averages don't mean anything, like, and if I knew better stuff about statistics, I would look for like the actual numbers. But averages are fun. Yeah, like a mean or a median or something like that. Like something to demonstrate where we really land. But I do have averages. So I'm just gonna start with mine just because it's the first one I see. As far as a franchise goes, I rate this franchise as a 5.04. You have given the entire franchise a rating of 5.656, so you liked it a little bit better than I did.
Overall.
Yeah. And then obviously in between, for the show average, 5.348. But I just thought that was kind of funny. Like, I made you do this, and it turns out I didn't even like it that much.
I feel like you had all of the James Bonds. Like, is that why we picked James Bond? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with that being a legitimate reason because...
And I do genuinely like them. It's not like I'm sitting here thinking like, oh man, I don't like them. But as I look at the averages, I'm like, oh yeah, there really were a lot of these movies that were kind of bad.
Yeah. Plenty bad.
Alrighty, well, I guess I should start this thing if you are good with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got top 5s of everything except Bond girls and henchmen. I've got top 4. Well, no, I got 5 in
Excellent.
Girls.
Okay.
4 in henchmen lackeys.
I was, well, we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Potato Chip Pictures, the movie franchise review podcast, wrapping up our James Bond 007 film franchise review. 25 movies. We have already looked at all 25 of them. So now we're just looking at some like overall thoughts about the whole thing. So let's not waste any time. My name is B. Sammy Davis.
I am Justin.
And yeah, we are doing the wrap up. I'm sure I'm going to have our overall averages in the intro, but essentially what we are going to be doing in today's episode is just kind of looking at some of the key features to the Bond franchise and discussing our favorite aspects of that. I don't know. I think that's a fair thing to look at.
This is the first time I've done a franchise wrap-up, so it sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah, this is all a learning experience. It's my first time doing a franchise wrap-up, too.
What? No. You always sound so prepared and well-spoken.
That's just because I fake it so well. But I want to start with the most important thing, and that is the actor playing Bond. I have the numbers as I've been collecting them, but I am curious as to how you would rank the Bond actors, maybe lowest to tops.
In terms of order, I feel like it's tough to be so down on the older, not old age wise, just the earliest Bonds.
Mm-hmm.
The actors sure portrayed them well. If we're talking about the iteration of the Bond, I love Sean Connery the least in terms of James Bond being a stand-up fella. Not so much. He did a great job of portraying James Bond as he was in the 60s. I mostly just that's because I enjoy Roger Moore a little bit more. It feels a little more like he could be Adam West Batman, at least.
Yeah,
I
but
don't see
in
Sean
a
Connery
good way.
pulling that off. Yeah, in a good way. Between Lazenby and Dalton, because I'd probably put the both of them above Moore and Connery.
That's fascinating.
I mean, because it just feels like a different era, even though they only had the one movie and the 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like a different comic book writer. If it was a different, what do you call them? The gathering of all the comic books in one. A different series of our Bond. But I just liked Lazenby. his plot is ridiculous, but it went well. Moore has Jaws. I maybe could kick Timothy Dalton down below Moore.
Okay.
I don't have a good solid list. I'm thinking off the top of my head.
I do have a solid list. And I'm going to go bottom to top. And at the bottom for me is Timothy Dalton. 2 movies. I'm just not a big fan of the 80s, and I don't think his movies really shine. I think he's fine. He's bottom of the barrel of really good actors playing this character. So, like, it's not that he's bad, it's just someone's got to be at the bottom. That's where Dalton lands for me. Lazenby only got 1. I cannot put him higher than Dalton, I can't put him higher than second to last.
Gotcha.
I like On Her Majesty's Secret Service, but I can't be like, he's the best. He only got 1. It was a good one, but it was only 1. So that's why I'm just kind of like, he's got to be second to last. Then I've got Connery next. Sean Connery did a great job of establishing the character, and I will always say that my biggest critique of Lazenby and the early Roger Moore is that it is clearly they are trying to do their version of Sean Connery's Bond, and it doesn't really work. But unlike Lazenby, Roger Moore then had a chance to kind of create his own version of Bond, and that's why I put him next, just above Connery. And I think you calling him like Adam West, I think that's a good description of him. He is a little bit
not a bad
campy,
way.
a little bit silly, but at the same time very memorable. A lot of people think of Roger Moore first when they think of Bond. He's got the most movies. He's the Bondliest Bond of them all in terms of number of appearances, official appearances. Then I've got Brosnan. I've got a soft spot for him. I didn't even particularly like his movies, but I still like him as Bond. I think he fits the part really well. And then, of course, at number 1 is Daniel Craig. I think he is top Bond all the way.
I might have just been the stories that helped him out too, but I think where it mostly felt like Bond was some tall guy with dark hair. Daniel Craig's like, he's a little bit, I don't know, in his Casino Royale, it's like blondish, reddish, brownish. It's all of them all together, and where that could have probably veered off of the lore or whatever. It felt okay because, hey, here's the new Bond, and here's an amazing adventure that he gets to start off with.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What Casino Royale really did set the tone. And it, after seeing so many other actors getting kind of a bad first movie, except for Pierce Brosnan, who got a great first movie, and then Daniel Craig gets a great first movie, and it is so good. So, yeah, it might be recency bias. It might be the fact that they both got good first movies. But I think Craig and Brosnan, embody the part best. Do you want to hear, based on their average reviews, where each Bond lands?
Movie?
Yes.
Well, see, and I think that's where it's the actor portrayal, how well did he do, versus like I really going through the list of intro songs. I absolutely love the Beatles doing their intro song, but it is rewatching the intro like, oh right, this is in the worst Bond movie.
Yes. That's how
However that happened
too.
So
I ended up just rating the songs because that's what I had to do.
give me the ratings that people do by the plots of the movies, because who's number one?
So, and that's really, like, you hit the nail on the head. This does not speak to their quality, because when we get there, and I don't want to start with number one because it's so obvious and it's kind of upsetting. So let's start with number last, which is Roger Moore at 4.7 as his average rating. He got 7 movies, so he had some stinkers and some really good ones.
Our ratings or others?
Yes, of
ratings?
our ratings. I'm not going to look at other people's ratings.
I mean, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. The average of our ratings across their movies is a 4.7 for Roger Moore. Next up is Sean Connery at 4.8. So just a tiny improvement. Next, we've got Pierce Brosnan at 5.4, so a pretty sizable jump. Then it's Timothy Dalton at a rounded 6.3, followed by Daniel Craig at a solid 6.3, which means because he only got one time at bat with a score of 6.5,
skew the average.
Yep, George Lazenby gets the top spot.
I mean, I'll have to go listen to my reaction to him, because I just have, I don't know, I feel like I had some nostalgia for that after we had reviewed it, thinking, oh, you know what? I really enjoyed the fact that Bond almost got away, and I really hate the fact that then he didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I would say watch it again. I think it's a really good movie. I think it's a very rewatchable movie. I think it's a fun plot. I like
silly.
Tracy Bond.
Yes, 100%.
And, you know, even though he's not my favorite version of Blofeld, the guy who plays Blofeld in this movie, I think he's really good in the part. And I also just love the fact that he and George Lazenby were really good friends during the filming of the movie. I just think that's cute. Mm-hmm. So I've got a soft spot for On Her Majesty's Secret Service. But yeah, man, let's shift over. Let's talk intro songs.
Intros.
I'm going to say I really heavily ranked on song over movie versus intro sequence.
Happy with that. Yeah.
I was going to say, how do you want to do it? Do you want to give me your top 5 from 5 to number 1?
I don't think I ended up ranking the Katie Lang one, so
I didn't either. It's an end credit song. It doesn't count. It's the best song in the Brosnan era, and we can't even rank it.
So my number 5, if we're going from the bottom of our songs, I don't hate No Time to Die with Billie Eilish. It's contemporary, and while it is a little bit more of a downbeat, I think Bond already earned the lower register with Adele's Skyfall. So it's like, okay, we can do another one of these. but maybe no more.
I might have to listen to it again because I gave it a 2 out of 10. It is my second to last of the overall things. Like, I just don't like the slow ballads if you don't have like a bombastic part. And at least with with Skyfall, you've got like a choir, you've got a lot of stuff happening. And so I don't know. I might have to listen to it again and just listen to it as No Time to Die by Billie Eilish. It might be better than I'm remembering it, you know.
I tried to not look at the intros at the same time, so I did go through all the songs, and there's just not... there's a lot of them that I do not like at all. What is your number 5?
My number 5, and this is only on the technicality, this is because it's so bad it flipped into good, is Die Another Day by Madonna at 8 out of 10.
No, that one was so bad for me.
Oh, I love that song. It's so dumb.
It is. It's pretty awful. Oh.
See, and like, I will go with you on saying it's dumb. Its lyrics are juvenile. It is so very of its time.
Yes.
And yet I can't say it's terrible because I genuinely like it. I think it's so much fun to listen to. So there we're even on being disturbed by each other's number 5 pick.
I slowed it down to listen to it, and while the rest of the song might be okay, the Close My Body Now makes no sense, and it's not the main... It's not like the title of the show. Like, Skyfall kind of doesn't make sense as a word, but Adele manages to work it into a good lyric. Close My Body Now is just like,
well, but
what do you mean?
That's the problem with it. She came up with her own lyric for that. She should have just stuck with Die Another Day and made that the only lyric the whole time. I mean... And I realize it is kind of a trolly answer. And so I will say that, you know, right below it at a 7 out of 10, I've got 2 of them. Nobody Does It Better by Carly Simon. That was from The Spy Who Loved Me. That will occasionally just get stuck in my head out of the blue. I'll just start humming Nobody Does It Better. And then For Your Eyes Only by Sheena Easton. Is another one that gets stuck in my head out of nowhere. So genuinely Madonna's Die Another Day is my number 5, but there are 2 really good songs right behind it.
And you say those are your like number 4?
No, my number 4 is Goldfinger by Shirley Bassey. Not a big fan of the movie. I love that song. Love it.
I'm trying to see my 2 because I thought that I ranked. Oh, so the ones you just said were For Your Eyes Only, and which was the other one?
Nobody Does It Better from The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah, that one is... So if we're just going top 5, my 4 had a tie.
Nice.
With For Your Eyes Only and Casino Royale, but those are both below The Spy Who Loved Me because Nobody Does It Better just feels like I unconsciously associated that with the Bond when I first ever heard it.
That's quite interesting.
Then it came back and I'm like, oh, that song's a Bond song? Okay, that's a good tune.
And for the longest time, my beef with the song was the fact that it just sounded like any old pop song that they could have put into it. But the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, no, I really do like this song. And Carly Simon was dope. Like, she was great. Clearly, I need to listen to more Carly Simon because I keep hearing songs where I'm like, she's so good.
Some bad notes are The Man with the Golden Gun and A View to a Kill, because they're both very stylized. One is Man with the Golden Gun, and it's like, oh my gosh. And it's not even about Bond, or about like, it's the villain. Here's your song, dude. And then The View to a Kill is Dancing to the Fire.
Yep.
Just nope, don't love it.
I really dislike A View to a Kill, and that's my number 23, I guess. Like that's my very bottom, like number 25 out of 25 is All Time High by Rita Coolidge from Octopussy. And that's because it just sounds like a song that they picked. And that, like, it seems like when you're making a Bond movie, you want a song that was written specifically for the movie. And that I don't get that feeling with All Time High.
Yeah, even just on a tangent from, this is a Bond song. The hand, okay, let's write it for Bond and make it catchy. Okay. Oh, that leaves us at 3, because mine was, not to skip over Casino Royale. I just dig it because it's I don't know, it feels more rock and roll. And so for the reboot, it felt nice. I do think Quantum of Solace tried to follow that in the same vein and failed at it. It didn't feel good. But didn't want to skip over Casino Royale.
Yeah. Good song. I like it. Kind of middle of the list for me, but 6 out of 10. It's on the positive side. I like it. A thumbs up from me. My number.
Even know that's the title of it.
Yeah. My number 3. Did you say your number 3?
Yeah, Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay.
Nobody does it better.
My number 3 is Skyfall by Adele.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it there. It is. I mean, when we're at this top 3 level, we are in the songs that I hum most frequently, that I think about most frequently. And I would even put Goldfinger in there. But Skyfall by Adele is one of those songs that's just kind of a revelation to me. I genuinely love it. And I think it was the song that kind of made me rethink Adele and listen to some of her old hits and be like, you know what? I like this too.
This is also good.
Yeah. All right. Hit me with your number 2.
Number 2 is Skyfall.
Okay.
It wasn't my top, but I feel like again, it doesn't, none of the lyrics in these songs really, really, really make sense as like a jumping off point into the plot. But hers, I think, maybe felt the most like it was going to mean something, because Skyfall, even right now, I'm like, that's the name of the manor where he grew up, right? Okay.
And she's saying at the Skyfall.
Yeah.
Like going to a place.
But then you don't know what it is at the beginning, so when you first watch it, it's very confusing. Well, okay, I trust you. At the Skyfall, something will happen.
Maybe that's a time. Maybe it's, I don't know what it means, but we'll figure it out. And it's a place. Yeah, so I like it as well. My number 2 is Live and Let Die by Paul McCartney and the Wings. Terrible movie. Terrible intro sequence. Such a fire song. Such a great, out of this world, bonkers Paul McCartney at his most bizarre and avant-garde. I love Live and Let Die.
It's really good.
I love it.
Love the guitar notes, I guess. And then the brass, I think. And that's why it's my number 1. That's overall. That's where I would put it, just because listening to it again, it was like maybe halfway through it, there's a part where it's a little bit empty and not quite doing much.
That's the artsy part that I think about. Like,
then it comes back around.
Yes. It's the part that kind of pulls you out, and you either have to let it give you this whiplash or you're going to be injured. And so some days I'm really into it. Other days I'm like, I should have skipped. So that's the only reason it's at my number 2. But the big reason is because my number 1 is The World Is Not Enough by Garbage. And that's the one I've been humming all week long. Like, oh man, that song, like, it sounds so good every time I listen to it. And it also, like, further makes me dislike the Sam Smith and Billie Eilish songs because I'm like, here's another ballad, but it's a ballad that has a strong string presence. You've got the very surf-heavy guitar going. Like, oh man, I think The World Is Not Enough by Garbage is just one of those great songs that even on its own, if you never even heard about James Bond and someone played that for you, I think you would be like, this song is dope. This song is good.
I'm trying to remember what it sounded like when I listened to it, because I put that it was just okay, which in Bond song terms is actually above average. It's not aggressively angry or like aggressively bad.
Yeah. I'm looking at mine and it's at number 17 that we go below a 5 out of 10. And so, like, for most of this franchise, the intro songs have been good to great. And then you've got a few stinkers in there. But there's a reason why a lot of these songs end up charting, because, like, they're good songs.
It's a popular franchise of its time. I think the next iteration, even if it makes a few missteps, it might just hit again, because not that there's a shortage of spy movies to go watch, but why not reinvent it for another audience? Because
I think the only way they could upset me, and this is just a statement about how Bond as a franchise has kind of copied what other people are doing. Don't give us a multiverse, and I think we'll be golden.
I think we'll be fine. I mean,
it might be fun to see, AI versions of Connery and Lazenby in their prime.
Maybe.
But it might also be terrible to look at. So I just would rather them give me at least some kind of conventional story.
For all of the nice things that we'll never see again in the franchise, like the actual actors that portrayed Q or M or anyone else. I think those would probably be the toughest, where they didn't often change, while Bond kind of changed several times, and that's okay. It'll be different.
That will be the part that's weird, and I wonder if they will keep new Miss Moneypenny, new Q. Like, they can.
Technically, sure.
What's his name? Ray Fiennes. He's still around. He could show up. But do you want us to move over to Allies? Since we're there.
I'm trying to think of anything else to mention about the intros and songs. I feel like the intros themselves haven't aged well. They are, let's see, even all the way up into like Brosnan era, just distillation of everything. I know they weren't necessarily filmed in America, but all of the stuff is there.
I feel like some of the really old ones, like I'm thinking about Goldfinger, where they were using Light, where they were just projecting film on a person's body. I think that aged pretty well because that's just a practical effect. And so I'm good with that. But then I think about GoldenEye. I enjoy that movie. I kind of hate the intro sequence. Like, the song is fine. Tina Turner's song is fine. But the very CG, effect heavy, very 90s sequences doesn't really work for me. And then I think about Tomorrow Never Dies, and when they show us the title card and it looks like something that a junior hire made. Like, there are some things about these intros that did not age well and will not be viewed as like breathtaking by any means, unless we're talking about the practical things. And then I look back at like the Sean Connery era and I'm like, okay, some of that might look pretty good. And then I'm still going to say, in terms of just pure visuals, I think maybe Casino Royale might be my favorite. Maybe Skyfall might contend with it.
Yeah.
I think those ones were pretty incredible to look at.
Yeah. Special mention for You Only Live Twice. I don't know another section of strings that I'm going to only hear as Bond music from now on. It was like, ridiculous movie, but the da 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 da, it's so attached to James Bond now. Like, okay. Yeah.
And I like the Nancy Sinatra song. It's good. Like, yeah, I like that one. I think that's a good shout out.
On to Allies. Good to go.
I've got 5 of them. If you got 5 of them,
I think that's the one. Oh no, I did get 6, and there's a tie for number 2. So I technically have 8 total because I put 99 on Julius Pepper. JW.
Oh, really? There's no way. I almost put his replacement, and I have already forgotten his name. But the other Southern boy who shows up, but he's much more tolerable. He was in contention for my final list, but I've only got 5 of them. I've got Zukovsky played by Robbie Coltrane, or Hagrid.
Yeah, he's my number 5 out of 6.
So we both have him at number 5. So that's good. I thought Robbie Coltrane was great. Didn't love his character arc, only because I would have liked to have had him come back for more. But otherwise, fantastic. Former villain, current ally. I really liked Zukovsky. Number 4 for me is Jeffrey Wright's Felix Leiter.
I got Jack Wade around the Zukovsky era.
That's the name, Jack Wade. I was like, it's not Pepper.
No, Jack Wade, and I guess it is still JW. Sure, all right. I think because I want to say he was in one of the earlier movies with Timothy Dalton as a bad guy, but then he comes back here as a good guy.
He's just so charming and so delightful. Very dumb, like kind of bordering on JW Pepper, but you take away all the racism and now you've got a character that's actually enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Original Q, Desmond Llewellyn.
Gotcha. I'm a 3 with Judi Dench in the Craig era.
Interesting. Okay. My number 2 is Original Miss Moneypenny, Louise Maxwell.
All right. She's that one. I think the Moneypennies, I didn't rank Samantha Bond, but I think I enjoyed her the most.
She might be my third favorite because Naomi, is it
Oh,
Harris?
yeah.
Naomi, I can't remember her last name. Newest Miss Moneypenny is my second favorite.
She's fun. She's nice. I think the tension was like barely explored without even committing to even like, let's flirt about it. Like, oh no, we're just good colleagues. And it's like, well, come on. That's what made it fun. That's what made it fun with the other ones. My number twos are the Qs, not John Cleese, because I enjoy the newer one and I enjoy Desmond. They're just...
I feel bad for John Cleese, but by a wide margin, he is worst Q.
Yeah.
I love him as an actor. I love him in the Monty Python stuff. Worst Q.
No way around it.
We're at number one. I'll just say mine because you've already put her in your list. Mine is Judi Dench's M from the Daniel Craig era.
Gotcha. Yeah. I had pulled up Felix by Jeffrey Wright because maybe that one mostly feels like recency bias, but the non-main character still just exhausted from this life of CIA agent goes out in the final film and is just like Mathis in affecting Bond, and that makes it like you got the other characters that will talk to Bond for the last time, but they get to live on, and this is Felix that he does, like, he's the same spot that Bond ends up at, and he's like, it's okay, like it's like Felix went first, and so Bond he's okay to go.
I really like the fact that for the first time in the franchise, I really do believe that Felix Leiter is having adventures of his own. All the other Felixes, it just was like, oh, and there's an American too. Hooray. Like, I didn't really care. But then Jeffrey Wright playing it, like, you had pointed out that he kind of looks like Max Payne in Max Payne 3 when he's like ready to retire. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I see it. Especially when he's like, come on, it'll be just like the old times.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
Just delightful. All right. Well, where should we go next? Take me down. All right.
I say we go at least through the list of things. Let's hit our gadgets because saving our best for last. We can go through the gadgets really quick. It seemed like a short list.
This was the one I eventually found 5, but this was the one where I had the most trouble because as I kept looking at the list, I was like, I don't even care about these things. And I realize as important as gadgets are to these movies, I barely think about them.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of high points in the whole franchise, but like the duck scuba gear isn't even on here. Where earlier I thought about it in my mind when we were talking about Adam West. I'm like, I can see Roger Moore doing the duck. It was on Sean Connery, but...
It was Sean Connery, but I could definitely see Roger Moore sporting a tuxedo underneath a wetsuit.
My number 5 out of the list that we have would be the exosuit Gustav Graves wears to fire the space laser beam.
That was... on my short list. It didn't make the list, but that was one that I kept looking back at because of how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is practical. Like, it's a suit you can wear and kill anything with it.
It's part of the main plot. It's like, okay. This isn't a side thought.
So yeah, I'm with you on there. It almost made my top 5. But my number 5 from The World Is Not Enough was the X-ray shades.
Okay.
I got a genuine chuckle out of everyone packing heat in the casino. Like, that was a good visual gag, and we get that gag because of the X-ray shades. So number 5 for a chuckle.
I gotcha. Yeah, I put them a little bit higher. I think I went through the list thinking, would this be a cool gadget to have? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll agree with that. I would 100% rock his version of the X-ray shades, because obviously he's not cutting all the way through to bone.
Sure.
But he's able to take off the first layer of clothing to see undies and guns.
So, I mean, you gotta know, I guess. Yeah. It's a James Bond. That was a blast from the past all the way in the Brosnan era.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, they're not a big part of Living Daylights, but the milk bottle grenades were fun. Because it's like, oh, this spy team has a queue of their own, and they make milk bottle grenades.
Yep, my number 4 was the money bomb from The World Is Not Enough. So 2 in a row from The World Is Not Enough, but my villain gadget that impressed me was the money bomb, where you just have to have that pin on your clothing. Right. And approach close enough to explode the money. Yeah, I thought it was very effective, and what a way to hide a bomb. So, money bomb. That's my number 4.
Well, my number 3 was the other bomb, the exploding pen.
That's my number 3 too.
Yeah, we got some that match. I think it's a fun relic. Remnant of GoldenEye.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it just encapsulates the gadgets that came with Brosnan.
Yeah, and they even make a reference to it in Skyfall when New Q is like, what do you want, an exploding pen? And it's like, kinda, yeah, like, I saw how effective that was at killing a base. Like,
it all works if you have one explosive. Just put it in just the right spot. It'll be fine.
Yep, and this time it was a fidgety hacker. That was the right spot. All right, well, then I'm going to jump up to number 2. My number 2 is kind of cheating because it has like a bunch of gadgets in it, but it's the attaché case from Russia with Love. It's got the money, the smoke grenade, the retractable sniper rifle, knives. Like, it's such a rad concept, and it's like the second movie in, we get this really cool gadget. So, attaché case from Russia with Love.
Just needed a little bit more to the Bond world. Well, here you go. You get some fancy gadgets. My 2 was your 4, I think, X-ray shades.
That was my number 5. Yeah.
5. My last 2, I think I ranked in terms of these would be really cool, again, in real life, because X-ray shades would be useful, I guess, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking for, I don't know, contents of stuff at the grocery items, or trying to think of, it sounds like something cool to have in real life, because then my number 1 is the training simulator, which is just VR on steroids.
That was a short list of mine, but the fact that that Miss Moneypenny used it to make love with Bond, that was what ended up taking it off my list.
I mean, I feel like that's why I enjoyed that Samantha Bond, because she was like, well, you know.
She's willing to go into the Q labs and play with toys.
Yeah, seemed more age appropriate with Bond's mannerisms. So it, like, yeah.
Well, my number 1 was the milk bottle grenades. And it's only because when that came up in the Living Daylights, that was probably my favorite part of the entire movie. Like, I didn't particularly enjoy that movie, but I keep thinking about the milk bottle grenades and just how much fun it was to see him throw a bottle of milk and for it to explode.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I enjoy them for the fact that not just the MI6 gets cool fancy gadgets.
Well, in that case, can we do vehicles next?
Vehicles. Oh, yeah. I missed that tab.
All right, well then I'll do vehicles really fast. Because vehicles are almost like gadgets, but I still like them. So I'll go through mine pretty quick. From Goldfinger, I like the Rolls-Royce Phantom 3. That is Goldfinger's car that he reveals is made of gold so he can melt it down and not have to pay any import fees. It's devious and it's sexy. It's such a throwaway line, and yet I'm like, wow, that is devious. Like he makes a car out of gold just so he doesn't have to pay taxes.
Yeah. I mean, for the world, it does seem like, well, gold isn't, what do you call it, structured enough to be a car. So
exactly. Like it's so impractical in real life.
What are you doing?
It's just the villainous plot of it that I like.
Skip taxes.
Number 4 is Aston Martin DBS V12 from both Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. It gets destroyed at the beginning of Quantum of Solace. That's how I kind of remember it. But it's so good looking. It's just a genuinely gorgeous car to look at. Then from Tomorrow Never Dies, the BMW 750iL. That's the remote control car.
Isn't that the one that does the flip with the ejector seat?
No, that is Die Another Day. I don't remember which, because I think that was an Aston, but it could have been something else. But yeah, the BMW is the remote control car where he jumps in the back seat and he's driving from his cell phone. I just love that scene. I love it so much. I just enjoy it immensely. Then from You Only Live Twice is Little Nelly, the collapsible helicopter. That's my number 2. It's just so cute and fun.
Take on 3 other helicopters.
Yeah, it's great. Little Nelly can kick some butt. I like her. And then appearing in the most movies and therefore being the most iconic Bond car is the Aston Martin DB5. From Goldfinger, Thunderball, GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, Casino Royale, and Skyfall. It's the iconic Bond car. It's the one you think about when you think about who is James Bond. He's the guy who drives the DB5.
I'm trying to remember it in Casino Royale.
It was the car that I think it's the car he wins from. What's his name? Because I think the V12 is what MI6 gifts to him because it's got the gadgets.
I can remember it now. It feels a little like Han Solo, where this is where he gets that car. Okay. Yep. Origin story of a piece of equipment.
Well, and that's the thing. Like the DB5, when it comes back in Skyfall, it is not the same car as the one in the Casino Royale. The Skyfall car is the one that, Connery was driving because it's got gadgets in it. And he's like, I'm going to use the ejector seat on you.
Oh, well, that's a solid list. I don't know that I would have. I'm not a big car person, but the scenes probably would have mostly.
I'll be honest, it was an incredibly hard list to make, and the only 3 that I knew were going to be on it were Little Nelly, the remote control car, and then the DB5 that Bond drives in most of the movies. And then I was reaching to try to fill out the other 2. So, yeah, I don't have any like emotional attachment to the Phantom 3 from Goldfinger. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that was the car made out of
That was
gold.
the
That's
car.
kind of cool.
Gotcha.
All right, well, we got 3
Oh.
categories left. Pick a
Henchmen,
car.
lackeys, villains, Bond girls. I'd do the henchmen, lackeys. I don't think I
Okay.
got 5, but I also think I kind of didn't. I got 4 because I was like, oh yeah, these people, 100%. I remember them.
All right, well, since you don't have one to compare it to, I'll just throw out my number 5, and if it
Yeah.
happens to be on your list, then keep mum about it, and if not, you can tell me what you think. But as much as I hated his movie, from Die Another Day, Zhao with diamonds on half of his face.
Oh, I gotcha.
I really like that design. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Like, they absolutely could remove those diamonds from his face, but it looks cool,
Yeah.
and so I like it.
Like Jaws, I'm sure that, they probably could have done some other work with his teeth, but we're going to keep him there.
Yeah, it looks cool. Let's keep it because it's cool. So,
Yeah.
bad movie. I'm never going to watch it again, but I got to give Zhao his credit. I like the diamonds on his face. It's a good design.
Well, I guess I'll put Stamper as my, no, number 5.
Stampa.
Yep.
Stampa, why are you yelling?
Feeling good, Tony. So I'll go first with number 4. That's where through all of these, they didn't really stick. Well, maybe I was focusing on the wrong people because I left. We can bump these ones down and put you at number 3. Well, no, you're number 2. Yeah, you're number 2. You're number 3.
There's some last minute changes happening on the spot.
Well, yeah, because I feel bad to say it. I left someone out that should be number 2. So my number 5 that I enjoy because not so much that they're a dangerous henchman, but Severine was a I can't think of the word. She was interesting for the part of the movie that she's in, and it was so unfortunate that she just dies.
Yeah.
Like no fanfare, and maybe it could have been more interesting.
I'll agree with you there. She is so mysterious when she is introduced as a woman standing next to a shattered window at the top of a skyscraper, and she's just fearlessly staring across the empty space at Bond. And the movie does her dirty. I still love that movie. It's still a perfect movie. It's still a 10 out of 10. Severin should have been in more of it.
Yeah. But that'll call it my number 5.
My number 4 is Mayday from A View to a Kill. She turns good at the end. Didn't need to die, but super strong, very interesting. Played by Grace Jones, and I really like Grace Jones. So Mayday, number 4.
I didn't end up rating Mayday. I think it's probably the movie that pushed that down the list. My number 4 is Vesper. Mostly because I like Casino Royale.
Yeah. And I had her in my list for a minute. I was thinking about her because I was like, I mean, she is so important to the entirety of the Daniel Craig franchise.
Seems like that might have been an overplay of using her. I'm like, we can move off of Vesper now. No.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up in the last movie.
Yes, we're going to keep bringing her up all the way to the very end. All right, well, let's go to number 3, where I have Odd Job from Goldfinger. He throws his hat, and that's cool.
I mean, Odd Job might have been more important, but I don't think I chuckled and laughed the same way that Felix is exhausted from being a CIA agent and just not actually ready to die, but when he gets there, it's means something. This guy's death meant nothing, but I loved every second that he was like, hey, this is just a job. Like, you guys, could we, like, Dr. Kaufman from Tomorrow Never Dies is like, hey,
one scene.
one scene, and he makes my list because I, like, one, I like the actor, but two, it just plays on the notion of, like, these contract killers, they'll do anything. It's like, well, could we maybe not? I'm trying to remember exactly how the scene goes down because he dies, but
yeah,
it's
and he's like, please, I'm just a professional. It's like, yeah, this is the game, my dude. Like, yeah, I like that. I think that's fair. All right, well, at number 2, and it's because she should have been the main villain for the entire movie. It's Fiona Volpe from Thunderball.
Gotcha.
And she's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, she was so gorgeous. Holy crap. That fiery red hair.
Super duper long. Yeah. Yeah, I could see her being a top one. I feel like my selections of the list may have just been more recency problems.
Well, I imagine our number 1 is going to be the same. Only for the fact that it hasn't showed up on my list yet, and I haven't heard it. Maybe it's at number 2 on your list, but
well, between the two, I would put for the absolutely dangerous feeling that Xenia from GoldenEye brings every single time she's there. Even her bad guy companion is like, what? Why are you so gross?
yes.
What is the deal, lady? And like, she has no qualms about being exactly what she is, and she's she's just as dangerous as Jaws, and maybe more scary. But Jaws is my number 1 for
same.
all of the wonderful reasons that he gets to end his career with love.
Yeah, like, he's so iconic, and frankly, next to, like, after you have looked at every single one of the actors who plays James Bond, I think the next face of the franchise is Jaws.
Yeah.
He's just so iconic, and he's got an actually interesting story, plus we get to see him in 2 movies. Like, he's just the best.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
All right, well, that takes us to our final 2. Do you want to do love interests or overall baddies next?
So I'd probably go with the Bond women. We'll do that one and do the villains last. I feel like it's a different list.
Now, I'm going to say, typically speaking, a Bond girl is defined by having some kind of romantic relationship with Bond. I say that only because I did not put Paloma on this list. I would have put her on an ally list.
Yeah.
But I didn't find her that compelling as an ally. But I wanted to put her in the Bond girl list. I was just like, they never were romantic. I can't put her there.
Oh, then my number 5 is probably, I kind of have 2-ish lists where I was trying to work out because I wanted to fit number 4 for me is Pam Bouvier, License to Kill. Just she's fun and snarky. I don't know what's a good word for being not under James's power initially.
She doesn't listen to orders. Like, she does her own thing. So I thought about her for a while too, especially for the casino scene where Bond's like, "You're going to show up and be my assistant." And she's like, "I'm going to show up as an executive."
Yeah. It's like, awesome. Put Bond off of his game because, like, he's a professional. He should be able to handle whatever happens. Mm-hmm. I mean, and if, like, Strawberry Fields, it's like, okay, you want us to be teachers? Fine. We're going to be over here at this different hotel. It's like, if you can make him do something, even in a romantic relationship, I think you have a one-up on Bond. But that kind of skips over the number 5.
Say, was that your number 5?
No, I initially put the GoldenEye lady.
Pussy Galore? No. GoldenEye lady was Natalia something or other. Can't remember her last name. I was thinking about her too. That's right, Ivanova. She was on my short list, but didn't make it. Didn't make it to the top 5. But I thought about her for a while because she's also capable and interesting. Well, my number 5, and it's purely on looks alone, because she's a nothing factor to this movie. But it's from Diamonds Are Forever, Plenty O'Toole.
Plenty O'Toole.
She's the lady who gets thrown out of the window into the pool. She's legitimately a nothing factor in the movie. Like, Bond meets her while he's gambling. She was with one guy. That guy busts out. Then she goes to Bond.
She's kind of chatty.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the next time we see her, she's like dead, half naked in his hotel room, and then some dudes show up and throw her out the window. Like,
oh yeah.
But she's so gorgeous. And so, like I said, looks alone, Plenty O'Toole.
Sure.
There's just not enough character there to be like, oh yeah, she's so interesting. And then who did you say was your number 4? Was that Pam?
Yeah, that was Pam.
That's a deserved spot. I thought about Pam for a while. My number 4 was someone from your henchman list, and that is Severin.
Gotcha.
And, like, I don't know. I find her so fascinating. I agree. She absolutely should have lived for at least a little longer in the movie. Like,
could these helicopters have come any sooner?
Yeah, like a few minutes sooner, and she would be alive, and she could have been a part of the movie. I get it. Like, putting the whole notion of a Bond girl on its head was the whole reason that we had Judi Dench as the final Bond girl of Skyfall. Because it's not a romantic Bond girl. It is a motherly figure. And so I get it. I get why they did it. But there is an alternate universe where Severin is the Bond girl of that movie. And that movie, isn't as good. But at least we get more Severin out of it.
Yeah. That's fair. For your number 4.
Yeah, so give me your number 3. I'm excited.
3.
Because I think we're in the territory where we might start having some similarities. Maybe. We'll find out.
Maybe. Because I kind of... it's tough to be like, well, the romantic interests, they're not quite allies, but my last 3, I could put... Well, so number 3 is probably the one that could stay number 3. 1 and 2 I could swap because they're both... Okay. Number 3, going on your criteria of looks alone, I really enjoyed Strawberry Fields in Quantum of Solace.
Okay. She is gorgeous. I'll agree with you there. Not enough in the movie, but she gets to trip Elvis, and that's funny. I like that.
And then she dies. I'm like, oh, it's so unfortunate that it's like, oh, they just die. There's so many Bond girls that just die.
Yeah, just for knowing who Bond is. Like,
yeah. So that would be my number 3.
I'm genuinely surprised at that, but I'm going to give you my number 3, and it might surprise you. Tracy Bond from On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Part of the ones that I'm up in the air. It's like, well
well,
Tracy Bond is cool.
I think, in addition to the actress being gorgeous, the character is interesting. You could think so much about all of the different fascinating things to the Contessa from On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And one of the things that I think about is the fact that she's crazy jealous. And when Bond is at his lowest point and is likely about to die, his deus ex machina is his jealous girlfriend who hasn't heard from him for a while and just happens to be in town.
To find you. Go.
And
excellent.
So I love that. Like it's so toxic, and I don't want that in real life, but I love that it works in the movie. So
to save his life. He's usually saving people, but he gets in a bad way. That's a
she'd
good
be
one.
higher up on the list if she didn't die in the same movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 3.
Well, number 1 and 2 occupy the spot of. These are probably the romantic interests that I most wanted Bond to stay with, essentially. Because even with the betrayal, I think Vesper and Tracy, the two of them are 1 and 2. I would probably put Tracy at 2, Vesper at 1, as romantic interests, just because they both get to Bond in a way that doesn't seem superficial.
Okay.
That's what I would go with. Yeah.
That's very fair, because my number 2 might be a little superficial. And she's another person who dies in her movie. From You Only Live Twice, Aki. She comes rolling up in her sports car and demands that Bond gets in. Like, she's always in charge. She gets poisoned, and that's what kills her. But
oh yeah,
I loved Aki throughout the movie, and she is just another horny spy. Like, there's not a lot going on. There's not genuine feelings or anything, but the fact that she is another super spy, she can be super lucky, just like Bond, up until she dies. Like, she's doing a great job. So, and then my number 1 right there with you is Vesper Lynd. Not only do I think that her character is endlessly fascinating, and clearly the producers thought it was fascinating too, because they kept coming back.
Yeah.
I just also think the actress playing her is gorgeous. I've forgotten her name off the top of my head.
Eva Green.
Yeah, Eva Green. So gorgeous. The character is so interesting. Casino Royale. She's such a fascinating character. My only issue is I don't love the betrayal and the suicide at the end. Those are the two things where I'm like, the betrayal just seems to come out of nowhere, and then we spend the rest of the franchise justifying it. Like, no, really, it had to happen.
It had to.
And then the suicide, like, she 100% chose to die. Like, that's why I call it the suicide. Everyone calls it the suicide. There is no one who says she died accidentally. No, she flings herself to the back and cuts out all of her air, like screams or whatever. Like, so, but it's not enough to take her out of the number 1 spot.
No,
like, that's where she lives.
Yeah, I think I mean, there wasn't any criteria put to these names, really. So
Yep,
going
yep,
along
yep.
with my own of like, well, I think Tracy and Vesper are just a level above the rest of them, where it never seemed like Solitaire was as serious as these two from Bond's side. Like, Bond could probably fall in love with anyone that he needs to.
Yeah, I was thinking of For Your Eyes Only, where the lady at the end of that, she has the line of, "For your eyes only, darling," suggesting to the audience that she is madly in love and that Bond has found his woman. But no, he didn't. Like, we're going to forget about her in one movie. Like,
Yep. Yeah. Accurate.
The one who never made my short list, and I thought about her for a while, and then I was just like, I never believed the relationship. Even when they really tried super hard, I still had trouble believing that these two people liked each other. Madeline Swan.
Yeah.
She never made my short list.
I think I considered her just because it was like, oh, so this is the wrap up to our Craig Bond. Like, okay, well, let's see a little bit in the last movie. It feels a bit more believable, but yeah.
But
first
it took
movie
us
to
two
second
movies to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt that recency bias where I was like, she was in the last movie, plus she's, the baby mama. Like, I really should consider this woman, and I love that actress. I think it's Leah Seydoux. I think that's how you pronounce her name. But everything I've seen her in, I've always been like, wow, she is so good. And I just didn't feel that with this one. I didn't feel like this was her role. I didn't feel like the character mattered that much. So she was quickly off my list. I was like, nah, I don't like her. I like Paloma more, and there was no romance with Paloma.
Yeah. All that leaves us with our villains, unless there's any last Bond women to bring up.
I mean, I'm going to say it again. In any of those movies, there is a good chance that at some point during the viewing of that movie, you are going to see the most beautiful woman in the world from that year. So, in terms of looks alone, they're all 10s out of 10. You're going to find hotties in every single one of these movies. It becomes a matter of, all right, what are their little bits of character that makes them interesting?
How can we make the plot involve them and make them cool? Make Tracy marry Bond. Yes. I'm on board with that. That sounds good.
Yep. And she'll be around forever. We'll have the Bonds as our next movie. Mr. and Mrs. Bond. All right. Let's take us over to the villains. The thing that defines a Bond movie. Who's your number 5?
So you can cut out such a big part of this list just because I don't love any of the villains from early on. Like, maybe a little bit Dr. No could be like number 6, but I just don't. They were just cartoon characters, and I think it just rose to a bad example climax of cartoon characters, with Brad Whitaker being like this guy with a gun that has a shield on it, and he's
I forget about him.
Just a very forgettable, bad. I don't love so many of them.
I've got 2 old school villains on my list, but most of them are new school.
Are they in the top or are they in the bottom?
I only did my top 5. I got rid of so I don't have anything further. I will say someone who was at number 6 until I just went to a top 5 and was only a top 5 was Goldfinger from Goldfinger. Like,
I get you.
I do enjoy him as a character, as a villain. I'm like, that movie has aged so poorly, and yet the memes are there for a reason, and Goldfinger is one of them. So he's my unofficial number 6, but he's not one of my cartoonish villains that made the top 5.
I gotcha. Yeah. I'm not gonna enjoy saying that my number 5, mostly because I thought of Mr. White in Casino Royale just because in that one movie he's mysterious, he's with a different organization, he's just a facilitator, and that's like in Half-Life where the G-Man is there but not forcing stuff to happen. But
I'll agree. I got G-Man vibes out of Mr. White early on.
Yeah. I debated switching him with the Colonel from Die Another Day, where he turns into Gustav Graves. Mostly because the Gustav Graves is just so weird. But he manages to start his plan. Like, this giant laser beam is actually on its way to the DMZ. Demilitarized zone.
It takes out like half of the mines on there.
So in terms of getting your stuff done and taking care of your business, that guy.
All right. Are you putting the Colonel / Graves at number 5?
I would, because Mr. White is just, he goes downhill. He's mysterious, and then we learn more, and then, like, I don't love him because he's in the last movie. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, he's Inspector. That's right.
He's Inspector, second to last.
And it's just, the whole arc doesn't do much. So if it was just Casino Royale, I might keep him, but Gustav, number 5.
That's fair. Maybe I'll watch Die Another Day one more time just to see, because there are elements to it that are good ideas. I just don't think that's a good movie. But did I give my number 5?
No.
My number 5 is Trevelyan from GoldenEye, played by Sean Bean.
Oh, interesting.
I enjoy meeting him as a 00 agent. I enjoy seeing his scar. I like the sudden twist to this jealous villain where he's like, I got her too. Like, oh, so creepy. And but it works for me. So yeah, Trevelyan in GoldenEye is number 5.
That's too low.
All right, well, take me to your number 4.
My oldest of the franchise, mostly because it just feels like a villain is on par with Bond's License to Kill. Like, it is from License to Kill. Franz Sanchez is the guy that explodes the dude in the submarine. I think it feels like he recognizes Bond could just kill him, and he's like, well, let's put you to the test, kind of a Batman Joker situation of like, okay, we're gonna chomp off Felix's leg and let's see what you like about that. So I put it 4.
The only thing that's distracting to me about him in particular is that I cannot look at the actor without thinking of the Goonies. He does such a good job, and he really does well as a Bond villain. It's just my brain cannot disconnect him from the Goonies, and that's my problem with him. Like, it's not an issue with the actor, not an issue with the story. It's an issue with Sammy. My number 4 is also the oldest on my list. It's From Russia with Love's Colonel Rosa Klebb. She's got that shrill voice. I think after Jaws, I think she's another one of those faces that has become like synonymous with the franchise. So, Kleb. I like her.
Feels like the old franchise, but yeah.
Yeah, she's only in the one movie. But yeah, she is associated pretty heavily with Bond. But yeah, she's also my only woman on my villain list.
Looking through the list again.
Yeah, I was going to say, there are a lot of women.
No. Electra King. No, she's not. She didn't make my list.
Yeah, she didn't make mine either.
I put Le Chiffre as my number 3.
I thought about him for a long, long time, so I'm glad he ended up on someone's list.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I enjoy the Craig era much more than all the other ones, and going through the list, I couldn't put the Spectre Blofeld on there. I couldn't put the other last people on there. It just felt like, I don't know, maybe I don't actually associate Le Chiffre with Vesper's story as much as maybe I should. Because
they're barely connected. They are in scenes together, but they never speak to each other. I don't know if they even look at each other.
I'm like, because Le Chiffre was getting connected with Spectre, and it felt like Vesper's boyfriend was part of Spectre and not Le Chiffre's organization. So I feel like the other ones in the Craig era just all kind of get tied back to her because she's everywhere. And so Le Chiffre is just like trying to enrich people and get money, and well, he doesn't have some grand plan that might knock him down a bit. But
I mean, he had a plan that got ruined mid-movie, and that was his shorting of a stock by blowing up a plane. I like the fact that he had a villainous plan and that it got ruined and we had more movie to go. Like that was kind of cool. So you said that was your number 3?
Yes.
My number 3, and this is specifically the version from You Only Live Twice, but Ernst Stavro Blofeld. I think the facial scar, the bald head, the constantly hiding his face until the very end, and then the soft-spoken but very villainous version of Blofeld. I think that's the most iconic version of Blofeld of them all. I think personally, I like the actor from Diamonds Are Forever. I think that actor is the better Blofeld, but he's not as iconic.
Also a good guy in the Bond.
Yeah, he was also in You Only Live Twice. Right. He was the guy who got stabbed in the back through the wall. So
I can see the justifications for both those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, Blofeld is such an iconic Bond villain. I had to put him in somewhere in my top 5, and then I got thinking about all of them, and the one that I genuinely like isn't the most iconic, and so I have to go with the one who's most iconic and therefore third best villain. The one I like the most might have been second best if I had picked him, but he's not iconic.
Yeah. At least you didn't pick the Majesty's Secret Service Blofeld. Can't recognize Bond for the life of him.
Yes, they just interacted with each other. Because, You Only Live Twice came right before On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So this was the first time they have a face-to-face interaction. And then we see them in the next movie and they don't know each other anymore. I also like that actor. I'm going to say that again. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I like the actor playing Blofeld. Don't love the character. But the actor, fantastic actor for that part. All right, hit me with your number 2.
My number 2, my last 2 will follow a theme. So number 2 is Silva from Skyfall.
Okay.
I enjoyed him as a ex-Bond, ex-00, and he basically had a plan and went through with it, and kind of his own self-absorption got him killed. He was not thinking about Bond still being there. I'm like, if you had maybe thought someone's still gonna come and try and save her, like, just hold for a beat longer and you get rid of everyone that would be trying to save her. So he's my number 2.
My number 2 is Lucifer Safin from No Time to Die. I really liked having a lone agent who is even more powerful than Spectre. I'll be honest, it was our discussion from last week that really turned me around on Safin in a big way. Okay. Like, he was middling before, then we talked about him, and I kept thinking about him, and I was like, I think he's pretty dope.
Okay. Yeah, he acts independently. I do think his love for Madeline was a bit like, why are we bringing this perspective? This doesn't feel...
You're 20 years older than her, man. Why have you been obsessed with her this whole time? Like, gross.
You're a villain. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And maybe that's, just proving how much of a villain he is. He's still obsessed with a child. Even though she's an adult now, he's been obsessed this whole time.
Sure.
But I'll agree. That's what keeps him from my number 1 spot, is that I'm like, he's needlessly creepy. Like, he's already a great villain, and then they also have to put in this weird parasocial relationship that he has with Madeline Swan from afar, and I'm like, gross.
Yeah, not on my list, but yeah, okay. I can see why.
All right, I'm dying to know, what is your number 1?
Well, I told you had to have him higher. I think James Bond having, like, Silva being X00, I enjoyed Janice Alec Trevelyan in GoldenEye as being the most enjoyable villain to counter Bond. Like, Blofeld is, he's a villain, and Bond is trying to stop the super villains from using his super spyness. But Janice, and it might just be because that was the initial Bond that I grew up with, just always struck me as not being expected. Like, oh, he actually is super dead. I'm like, wait, no, he's back, and
super evil.
He could be better than Bond is. Like, Blofeld will never match Bond physically, so it's like, here's a guy that could.
That's a really good point. I think of all of the villains, Trevelyan is the only one who could go blow to blow with Bond.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them, even my number 1, could go blow to blow with him, because I don't think they have kept up. But my number 1, and it should be obvious because it's from the best movie, but it is Silva from Skyfall. And I put him there because I can't stop thinking about the Count of Monte Cristo. And I can't stop thinking about this guy who's betrayed, spends time in a prison, builds himself back up, and then decides, like, that's not good enough. He didn't build himself back up for his own edification. He did it for revenge. Like, I just love that. Yeah. I love that so much.
It's a good way to put it into the
but as I think
slot.
about it, you and I have the same, like, we have an echoing theme for our number 1, where it's this idea of a former spy coming back to get him. Like, that's the most compelling version of a Bond villain. The super villain who's trying to destroy the world is more of a villain of the week, and he's going to get killed by the end of it because Bond's got a license to kill. So why not someone who's really going to stick in your head? And shockingly, it's these dudes.
Actually going to cause you physical trouble instead of just all the planning that could happen.
Yeah, I like that about Trevelyan. I like the psychological aspect from Silva. And yeah, so I do really like the villains in totality. There are some stinkers. There are some out there that I'm just like, oh, come on. Like Living Daylights with its dual villains. You mentioned the guy who's got the rifle with a shield. Ooh, I got the hiccups. Rifle with a shield.
Oh, yeah. Whitaker, something.
Whitaker, yeah. Like, he sucks. His partner sucks. Like, there are some villains that are just so garbage. But even when we get to, like, the megalomaniacs like Dr. No or Blofeld or Drax from Moonraker, I do kind of like them. And Drax was on my list for a long time. Like, I almost had Drax in there instead of Blofeld.
He was the one making poison with, like, flowers or something, right?
Yeah, and then he was going to go up to space and start his own little
civilization,
race. And that, that eventually left the list because I just genuinely thought that Drax felt like Blofeld, but legally distinct.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Spectre is back in the hands of MGM Studios because now we don't have to have knockoff Blofelds.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see if they try and fill out both sides of the teams. Like, you got MI6 you always have the person giving the orders, you got person with the gadgets, and you got Moneypenny. Like, I feel like in the first one or two movies, you had number 2 and number 3.
Like a genuine organization.
Yeah,
from
not
Spectre.
Number 612 from the balcony. What's your vote on this?
Submit it through an app.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I keep thinking about is, do I want them to give me another origin story in order to introduce new Bond, or for them to just come out swinging and be like Sam Reich? I've been here the whole time, and we're just going to start with a mission, reveal Bond's face at some point, and then go right into the actual story. No justification for the actor or how he got there. Part of me wants that, but the other part of me is like, man, Daniel Craig's universe having a reboot kind of forces them to make another reboot.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. Maybe we'll revisit it.
Indeed. As I always say, as long as it is a theatrical release and not an Amazon Prime exclusive. And the reason I bring that up is because I want to do a little bit of research before we get to the Predator franchise. Specifically, I need to know if the movie Prey ever went to theaters, because that is my favorite movie in the Predator franchise, and it might be a made-for-streaming
could be
movie, which means it wouldn't qualify for our list.
We gotta get with the times. We gotta expand. No, we'll see what we got.
We'll see what happens. It's our show. We get to justify it how we want. And do you wanna reveal what our next franchise is gonna be?
Oh, I don't know of course I know what the next franchise is gonna be. It's going to be I don't know what we call it, a spoof or a parody or a homage, because Austin Powers, the International Man of Mystery, will be the next franchise we hit. And I'm curious to see which one of those definitions it fits. Do they enjoy the good parts of Bond, or are we showing someone that is better than Bond morally while dumber than Bond.
You have never seen any of these.
No.
Am I correct in saying that? Okay.
I think I've seen clips of funny parts, but not many more than like maybe 3.
So we are once again in a franchise that I am familiar with and you are not.
Should be fun.
That's not always going to be the case. There will be times when we get to franchises that neither of us know anything about. But also, I wanted to just say, I don't think we will always do the spoof or send up
sure. Yeah.
franchise following things. Like, specifically, I was thinking about the franchise for Scream. Like they're like 7 movies into that franchise, and I genuinely love the very first Scream. I think it's such a great movie. I don't want to watch the Scary Movie franchise afterwards. Like I just want to skip Scary Movie.
I mean, both of those are ones that I have not seen, so maybe I'll just watch it on my own.
Yeah, like if we do the Scream franchise and you're like, I need something dumb and easy to process, then yeah, go and watch Scary Movie on your own. But I've watched, I think, all of the Scary Movies, and I kept thinking, like, surely it's going to get better. Like, there's no obligation for it to get better.
No. Oh, that's fun.
But yeah, Austin Powers, there's only 3 of them. Then we'll do our next wrap up. I'm going to go through the closing stuff, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. We have a plan for the end of 2025 in terms of franchises. And then after that, we have a mostly open schedule in that we have not discussed anything. So if you, dear listener, have a favorite film franchise that you want us to take a look at, send us an email. Yeah, exactly. Let us butcher your favorites. potatochippicturespod@gmail.com. Just let us know which franchise you would want. As long as they had theatrical releases, I will count it. I'm even willing to say, like, international theatrical releases. Like, sure. As long as it was in a movie theater, I think it counts. That might change one day, but for now, that's how we're going to count it. So send us an email at any of those. If you are listening and you have enjoyed this wrap-up discussion, why don't you give us a comment, review, rating, whatever your podcatcher allows you to do. That helps other people know that this would be a good show to listen to. Another great way to let people know this would be a good show to listen to is to share it with your friends or on social media. Just tell other people about our little show, and that would be most helpful. And then, of course, if you don't want to send a whole episode to someone, you can always send our shorts, which you can find on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And I would love to see you guys there as well. So I don't have anything else to say. And we got to think of a new closing.
Yeah.
Because I've always said Potato Chip Pictures will return. Because that's what the Bond movies said. James Bond will return. I've already watched Austin Powers International Man of Mystery, and I don't remember the credits saying
returning.
Austin Powers will return. They might have. I don't know. Like, I wasn't paying that close attention, but, you know, now that we're getting to the shorter franchises, I guess we'll be back next week.
Yeah. The Potato Chip Pictures will carry on and try again next week.
We'll try again harder next time in Austin Powers International Man of Mystery.